myself. My name is Charles Rosenay. I host the weekend Monkees interview show on Monkey Mania Radio. I don't know if anyone's heard of the station. Great. We're on 24 hours a day playing Monkees music and more, including some select tracks by a gentleman by the name of Bill Chadwick, who's our very special guest this weekend. And what's really great is the fact that there's conventions happen every year, and it's different guests, it's horror guests, it's rock and roll guests, it's artists and personalities, but because we have Mickey, and then we were able to get Bill to come, and the Monkey Mobile, and Zilt, and Loose Lou. Guys, this is a Monkees convention, I mean, right? And our last time the two of us were together in this kind of a scenario was in 1983 in Hartford, Connecticut, where we produced the Monkees convention. But Bill was at a convention prior to that, and I didn't know it. So tell us about that. Before we talk about your history and everything else, our history was 1981 in Bridgeport, Connecticut. And you were in the crowd as attending, and I didn't know it.
I walked up to the opening of the door and looked in, and Peter was in the middle of a song.
This is Peter Tork.
And he's, well, it's the only Peter you guys know, right? Yeah. No, the only one working on it. So Pete was up there doing this thing, singing the song. I don't remember what the song was. I got he was there and he knew this. And Pop. Sorry about that. She's like, oh, it was. Okay. Well, it was a pleasant day for me because he just stopped in the middle of the song and said, Bill Chadwick, what are you doing here? And I said, can we see you? He said, well, come on up. So I walked up and sat down right near the front row. And they finished his tune. And we had just a wonderful to see it.
What was great about it was 1982 was sort of those dark years. You know, the Monkees hadn't gotten back together in '86, and Peter was living in New York, and we never, until he showed up, we didn't know he was coming because no monkey had ever been to a Monkees convention. No Beatle except for Pete Best ever been to a Beatles convention. So when he showed up, we were more pleased and shocked, as well as the fans were. And he interrupted the song to say hello to Bill in the crowd, and half the people had no idea who he was saying hello to. But the true fanatics were like, wow, Bill, this was like having two Monkees in the room with you. And what I also remember is we interviewed him, and when he was not sure of something, he would look, was that right, Bill? He would look to you for the affirmation. Tell us, please, how your Monkees history began.
It began with just a chance meeting with Mike at the treatment room, and it blossomed into a great friendship that lasted, well, it still lasts as far as I'm concerned. Mike and I hired him to work for Randy Sparks. Most of you have already heard that. And we settled together and worked together on songs all the way through the Monkees. The producers were behind them, which got me into a whole different situation. I was running around the country doing stage writing for him. And there's songs like Harmony Doctors on the album. Jagger album, songs like, I can't think of the name of the song. Linda, what was it? Help me.
The song?
Yeah.
The one that's in my mind is Atlantis.
Yeah, Atlantis.
Or the high part in all of Atlantis.
Yeah.
What, the hit Atlantis? You did the high vocal?
Yeah, I did the high vocals. Yeah. About 3 or 4 different tracks. One half of that album was all recorded in one night. They're interesting thing except those that they all recorded in one night. It's false because I'm going to have a fight with the producer and he said, no, I'm going do the rest of it myself. And I came over to the U.S. and ran into him on the street and he said, would you come do some of the vocals? I said, sure. So we got in there and that night we did half of the album. I love my shirt. This is on the West Coast and Atlantis and a couple of others that I can't really recall.
So the question of the Monkees' history, and you took us to Donovan. Now, Donovan is a great part of rock and roll history. I want to know more about, you met Mike, you're friends with
Well, I
Mike.
met Mike, and well, that's part of the story. I mean, it always just kept getting broader and broader. He introduced me to a lot of people. I introduced him to a lot of people. We just worked together. We sang a lot of songs together. We always had a good time. Mike and I were friends from the day we met till now. I mean, just because he's fast doesn't mean he's not in my heart. I hope to build a studio. Cover some music. Setting background vocal on a whole bunch of songs. Just, he's a great guy. And my association with him and Davey, I did a lot of work with him. Davey and I were very close. We did the street. I designed that with my brother and I built it. Did all the construction work. And then we ended up, my wife and I ended up on a scooter. After that, when the street went down the tubes, we ended up on a scooter and it was one of the old merry pranksters, if you know who they are. If you don't, look them up. You get something to learn.
Tell us about some of the other songs that you say, backgrounds on.
You see, Love Valley Sunday, Sunday, I can't even think about it. It's like a big blur. That whole time in my life was just, it was so patched. Just, it's beyond recall.
You're on this amazing list, and Mickey's the first one to say that guys would always say the songwriters, because so much of the credit was given to the Neil Diamonds and Neil Sedakis and Boyce and Hart and all that. And Bill Chadwick is part of that amazing legacy of songwriters who contributed to the Monkees. Why are you giving me that look?
I hope you were going to say more.
So we know Zorn's Am, of course.
Zorn's Am, I would try to begin. I'm you and I, you, if I knew. And there's probably a couple more.
They probably knew more than we do. What did you I have these songs. Okay, guys, take them. What was the process? Did they have to go through the producers first? Did the guys make the selections?
Well, the guys would say, yeah, like that song, and they'd offer it up, and it was a matter of, there were other songs that they liked too. You've never heard, but it was Lester Sill and a couple of other people would make the decisions of what was actually going to be accepted. And fortunately, I had a really good relationship with Lester. He kind of like took me under his wing. And he was setting me up with the Bee Gees, spending a day with them in a hotel, showing them my songs and singing with them. Which I was just, those guys were great. Just singing their songs with them was amazing.
Did they do any of your songs?
No, well, I taught them a couple of my songs, but they never recorded them. And that was the idea, we were supposed to. And another time they set me up with Paul Williams and a couple of days with Indiana. I was supposed to be going to produce them and some stuff. That never happened. The Indiana position. That's what was more important than anything else. I mean, I care more about the people than I do about the life.
Thank you.
And feel free to interrupt at any point. Sincerely, no, I'm not being sarcastic. Anyone about this is all about. This is, yeah, please.
Fill the forum.
What
what Monkees album are you most proud of being
Well, I
on?
wouldn't say, I couldn't say albums, I could say songs, but songs that I sang on, or songs that I wrote. I think my two of the songs that were the most meaningful to the public probably were Rosenay and You and I. What I was most proud of from my own from the technical standpoint as a producer, I would say first song was and first song in the city. If I knew this, I know a lot of songs.
Well, what about, as a follow-up, what are your proudest vocal moments on Monkees songs? Is that an unreleased track?
I love to sing. I love to sing. I love to be if I'm working on a project with somebody else, I don't want to be a star, I just want to be an addition to it. And I want to try to express what they're trying to express. That to me, that's what being an associate vocalist is all about. And I work very, very well with Mike. I know a lot of harmony vocals for him. More than I can remember. See, some of the stuff with Davey was really good. I even sang some harmonies on some Monkees, Mickey stuff. That's kind of like a blur to both of us.
Well, what's interesting is you sound like Mickey. Am I wrong about that? This speaking voice,
I can
and
sound
you
like
hit those notes.
yeah, but I could sound like Donovan, or I could sound like Mickey, or I could sound like Mike, whatever. I learned those vocal tricks. It makes a big difference. You gotta learn how to meld with the other person's voice. And if you can do that, then you can do a lot of work.
That's what I was. So that was going to be my follow-up. Is you did a lot of harmonies. Did you also do blending with Mickey? Because
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
That's what it was all about. You know, so I did some of the vocals I did with Mickey. I remember with Mickey and Coco. And that was when I first met Coco. Was Mickey called me in for a session. I don't remember what the song was. I mean, I can't remember any of the songs that I did with Mickey. I did about 6 of them. And he can't remember either. We can't find the records of it because all the records are all screwed up anyway. You can't believe what you're reading that stuff because they just put down what they wanted to.
I love what you said earlier about, when you do it, when you write a song and how your heart goes into it and how you blend out what's in your heart and feelings.
Well, if you don't believe in, if you don't have an emotion or meaning before you start writing a song, or that promotes you to write a song, like talking to the wall. I don't think if you heard that song that Mike recorded, Talking to the Wall. I have told you many times that love is not a game, and you should be promised to change your ways. That was many years ago, and I was just a boy and told that you could take up when you felt the urge. Tell me as you stand there looking down at me, I want to know just exactly what you see. As the sun goes down and the midnight shadows fall, I will think of you when you remember me at all. Tell me, do you see a tear? You fell from solid stone. I thought I was alone, just talking to the wall.
Sounds like a
I never thought of myself as a poet, but I was kind of thinking that. I'm a romanticist. I love romance. I love it. Feeling, feeling and caring, touching. I was raised in a family that was very white, a large family. Most of my family was from West Texas.
Yay!
I was the first one in my family in probably a century that wasn't born in Texas. My folks moved to California in the 1930s, and both of my brothers were born around Hanley, Texas, which is just east edge of Fort Worth.
Yeah, I'm from between Houston and Beaumont. Monkees.
Oh, Beaumont.
It's hard to think they're.
Been there. I have a lot of family down in Hanson and that area.
Yeah, but the question is,
Back to you talking to the wall. I talked to you yesterday, where I mentioned talking to the wall. There's been misnomers that it's staring at the wall or talking at the wall. And you yourself yesterday, I said to you talking at the wall, and you said, no, I'm not sure. Do you remember writing it as staring at the wall? And
No.
how that's talking to the wall?
I've never heard anything about staring at the wall before. It's the first time, but no, I don't even look at.
And the second question is, your version is very happy monkey song, 1969 style. Yesna's version sounds like, you blow your brains out.
so for those who didn't hear the question, we're talking about the song.
Michael produced that first one. The only, I gotta say honestly, the only really good recording of that doesn't exist anymore. It's disappeared someplace.
That's not the one on the 45.
You probably never heard of it. It's I produced Davey doing it, and we did it my way. It was my producer. Davey did a television show that seems like nobody has ever seen, and nobody can find. It was an evening with, I think it was called. We'd be a different group every week on this TV show. But we were building the street. Davey was called and said that the group that was supposed to be on it that night was not going to be there because somebody had been injured and that group was not going to be in town. So what they did was they asked Davey to do it, and Davey said, hey, listen, we got this thing, if you want to do it with me, you could put the music together and I'll get you credit on it. Okay, so the next day we went in and recorded about 8 songs, I think it was. And then we went out and took our tapes out and we did the lip sync. I ended up directing cameras and choreographing the thing. Everything was great. Great experience.
What year was that?
1969.
Lenny or Scott, any of you guys who have that on video anywhere?
I don't think so. I wish we did. Yeah.
Talking to our archivists over there.
People have been trying to find information on this for years, and nobody can answer the question. I know Floyd Ackerman was involved in it somehow, and the other two names, Papish and Egan, are associated with her. So, and it was recorded at the CBS studios, television city of Los Angeles, sometime in 1969.
We're talking a lot about recordings. Were you on the set for any of the episodes?
So, yeah,
Tell us about
I
that.
was on the set for probably at least 75-80% of the shows. There was a photographing and sometimes did extra, and also did extra with other shows that they would come over and say, hey, Joe, how much you here? Why don't you know on the show?
I've seen you dancing on earlier ones.
Yeah, while I was dancing, that's funny, I wasn't really dancing, I was kind of hobbling. Because I had a cast from here and my toes stuck out. Now here. Yeah, I was tobogganing in Oxford, which was a big mistake. I popped at about 95 miles an hour on a bounce. Toboggan, get on a toboggan. I learned that the hard way. You can't really steer a toboggan.
Not when you're going to be dancing on
Not when you're
TV.
doing 95 miles an hour, went out of the thing and down this side of this, I guess, mountain, and into a flat, and out across the flat, and had a big, what looked like a big snow pile, but it wasn't a snow pile, it was a big, huge pine tree that was falling down. It was covered with snow. And so I did a real job on my leg.
Of course you did.
What was the process of like recording a Monkees song, like song by song?
What was the process of recording a Monkees song?
Well, first of all, somebody had to write it, and what they do is they present their song to either the publishing company or directly to the artist, and the artist would produce it for a publishing company or a production company. So we would take our songs I take my songs from like Mickey and Mike and stuff, but I'd also, every time I got a chance, I had an open door at Cold Jam, so I'd go in and sit down with Lester. And Lester was a mentor to me. So, some people didn't like him, and other people really liked him, but he and I had a really good rapport. So I'd go in and feel free to express myself. So I'd show him some songs. He said, I like this, I don't like that, I think this is right, I think that's wrong. Maybe if you change this a little out, and you clarify things so he works. So first you show him a song, then you would say, well, what do you want it to sound like? Okay, I want it to sound like this. Well, maybe you should make it sound like that. Well, we'll play to that. So you would, and then you go out from there, you go into the studio, well, who are you going to use for musicians on this? Well, so-and-so can play this, so-and-so can play that. Well, okay, I'm going to say I'm working on French song. Well, I want a French song, I'm going to get Emil Richards to play vibes on it. He was one of the finest percussionists around and still is. He was with Cal Jader for a number of years, and that's where I first saw him. I met him and I ran into him in a movie theater one night, and in my head, in that movie, I was thinking about him playing vibes, and I'm listening to his great Italian film, watching a film called The Tenth Victim, and in my head I wrote this French song. And I presented that, and Lester loved it. He said, it's totally different than anything they've done. I think it could be a standout. So we did it. So I went in there and I produced it. And, we got Hal Blaine to play the drums. And chose all people, or we took one keyboard. I think probably most fervent, maybe my best production.
Would the vocal track be cut first and then it brought to record through?
Just the opposite, but usually that was recorded with the vocal. Yeah, well, it's a separate track, and it was done on a separate track so that if you didn't like the vocal, you could do it. But we do it. But what we did there is we just kept redoing the whole song with the vocal, so that the vocal would meld into the track. That's the way I like to do it.
Yes, question. A couple of songs you did with Davey, you had the time and time again. Because they both had like Moog synthesizer in them. And I'm wondering if were you part of that decision making and having that sound?
Yes, no.
It was my move.
Was it?
I made all the decisions.
Yeah, okay.
If I'm producing, I make the decisions.
You produce those.
You don't want to get off the pot. And I wear the highway. But if I'm the producer, I'm running the show.
Was it odd recording an album after Peter left?
I'm sorry.
Was it odd recording an album without Peter? What was the three guys?
Well, I was just when I was recording, my focus was totally on that recording. Nothing else. Because if you don't focus on it, you'll never do it well. You can't let anything inherit it. Peter and I, don't get me wrong, Peter and I were good friends. Peter's a great guy. He never recorded any of my songs, but we sang a lot together. We get say we're in Paris, okay? We're in Paris for the shooting of that episode. We're on a bus with a whole bunch of these girls from Poly Roger. I don't know if I'll say that correctly, but we're having a great time. And we're all, anybody who can play a guitar had it there. Everybody that had a voice was singing. We were just, wherever we went, we were singing and it was a joyful time. It was like a wonderland. Such a fantastic experience. I can't express it, it's beyond expression.
So a recording session, assuming that they were done together, where you had the band and you also had the vocals.
Yeah, and then but you could always come back and fix something if it was broken. Yeah.
Was it multiple guys in a room, or was it usually one of them doing the lead, and then if we needed backup vocals, was it ever one standard way?
No, it wasn't. It's what you did whatever you had to make it as good as you could. And if it's broke, fix it. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Was it mostly not broke? Did the guys usually nail it, or?
There was quite often. It was a lot of times to get just because everybody in there was perfectionists, and that's what made it good. I mean, everybody believed in what they were doing. They loved it. It wasn't a job. It was a love. Yeah.
The Monkees don't get any recognition for being the first ones to do music videos. But you were, since you did a lot of technical, were you involved in actually doing the videos?
Well, there were things of music videos, long before the Monkees, but they were in jukeboxes. They were jukeboxes with a promo film on them.
Yeah.
And a promo film is the same thing as a. I mean, it just it just took a long time to get it to television.
There were a few of those rock and roll films that had the Bo Diddleys and they were pasted together with just that.
With Johnny Cash,
They don't have
Elvis Presley, all this,
Basically, yeah, the Monkees are really the first ones who did the music.
So the difference is, those were just performance ones. There was the guys and the band, and they were lip syncing. But with the Monkees, they're going crazier after that. It's not just that. So there is a difference.
I think the first ones who really used it on a television show, and they did a damn good job.
Were you involved in any of that?
In any of the music, well, I would say background vocal, harmony vocals. It's like I mentioned, at my age, it's hard to keep
You did a great job of giving us those lyrics. That was We have a question in the back from Scott Patton, who's one of the Monkee Maker radio air personalities.
Thank you, everyone. Bill, here's a question.
Yes, sir.
Here's a question for you. When Peter Tork left, was there any talk of you were possibly replacing him?
Yeah,
that's a great question.
Honestly,
Peter left.
yeah,
Why didn't you?
I don't know how far it went. I don't think it went far. I think because I don't think that they really wanted to. The guys didn't really want to continue to involve.
At that point, they had a three-way split. They didn't want to go back to the
Well, they knew the TV series was going bye-bye. You know, and there was really no point in it.
Yes.
Did you tour with them at all?
Did you tour with them?
Yeah, I was.
Was sitting on stage?
I wasn't on stage. I was lighting director on the 1967 and 1968 tours. The first was Paris, London, and the United States. And the second was Australia and Japan, and a few U.S. states. Plus, we had film we had all
Question. Bill, you did the music, you did producing, you wrote songs, you sang, you did lighting, right? Yeah. And then you stopped music for a while, right? You
well,
had
I
other.
was still doing some music, but I got into something I really loved, this was in glass, and I found myself becoming a restorer, Tiffany lamps and windows for major private collections in the Smithsonian and Metropolitan Museum. I worked through Christie's and some of these big collectors throughout the world. I did that for about 30 years.
That's spoken story.
Right.
Do it all.
Well, yeah, I already stored that. Mickey and I went shopping one day in London. We found this place called Dandy Fashions. Excuse me. And they had these incredible clothes, beautifully hand-dyed, some tie-dye, silk shirts, habitat silk. Most people don't know what habitat silk is. It's also known as China silk. It's a very, very thin, very satin silk. It bleeds really well. Almost a scar silk, but denser. And it dyes beautifully. So I bought a shirt, he bought a shirt, and I bought this white coat there. And gentleman's coat came out of that Chinese satin, brocade. Mickey saw it. He didn't see it until we got back to the hotel. He said, "Oh man, if I'd have seen that, I would have bought it. I'd have to wear that." I'm like, it's the song, I can't remember the name of the one that he did, the James Brown routine. Going down. And he said, "I gotta wear that. Let me wear it for the show tonight." I said, "Okay." Well, I didn't know he was gonna roll on the floor. So he did, and I didn't get it back for 2 years. And it wasn't white anymore. I finally, in frustration, put it in the washer. And washed it, and it came out fairly white, but so I dyed it blue.
Still have it?
I passed it on to one of my nephews.
Did you remind me about that? Do you remember?
Oh yeah, I mentioned it to her last night. Yeah, we joke about that all the time. Yeah, it was so it went to a good cause. It was so perfect for the show. That we should have it anyway. But I was inspired by that shot and the style. I came home and I opened up my own shop and just charged. If I find something interesting, my wife notices. She hates me for it. If I find something interesting, I throw myself into it. Nothing else matters.
Is that true?
It's very true.
It's
And
a
then
good
when
one.
he said that, he was talking something else. So we have the mess that he had with whatever it was.
Yeah, the rest behind me.
I have a question though.
Wait, your wife has a question for you.
Because I don't remember. When you were singing with John Denver, was that the same time that is that when you were also singing with Mike? Was that part of?
Yeah.
Yeah.
John,
What your question?
John Denver and I did some vocals and stuff. And we were working for Randy Sparks. And we actually wrote a couple of songs together. I don't remember what the names of them were. I have a whole, I can find out, but if I briefcase a stack of about 200 songs, I think it was that I wrote, and a lot of them I wrote in the house. I was going through all of a couple of weeks ago, and some of I didn't even remember the songs of it. Okay, we're gonna all have to wait. I did one song with Randy Sterling. I don't know if you've heard that name before, but this was a pretty prolific writer and actually guitarist. Someone called, what was it called? Song for Week 5. What do I do?
Draw the line.
This was song, and it was really a neat one. I liked it a lot. And I don't see it by Ed Ames, which kind of, to me, was a joke song, but it made some money and it was good. That was for a series that he was trying to put together called Make of the Man with the Bullwhip. It was a spin-off from the Daniel Boone show, which probably most of you aren't old enough to remember.
I have a question for your wife. Does stuff come up that you're like, how come you never told me that?
You know, I always say to him, I learn something new all the time.
You learn something new all the time, right?
Where something comes out of, you know, he has these little boxes he opens, and I call them the balls, you know? And when he started taking these records out, he had just got this turntable, and we started playing them. I had no idea that some of this stuff that he picked up, because he's just done so much, you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah, and I even hear stories I haven't heard 100 times. You know, I'll hear a new one.
And we play his music on Monkey Mania Radio.
I listen.
If I haven't plugged it.
I'm plugging it, John. I'm on the boat.
I think you're the only person who's been interviewed by me, and also Mr. Cat. I think we have more interviews of you than anyone else besides the four guys. And you had a question.
What kind of music were you listening to inspire your writing? Because some of them sound almost like rockabilly, Elvis, Elvis.
Did you hear the question?
That's a real good question. That may be the question of the day. I grew up, we were talking about me growing up with a family on the West Coast. And whenever we get in the car, we'd sing, my wife, my mom, myself, and then my dad. Just the three of us. My two older brothers were all past high school and going and married. So when we were 3 or 4 years old, we're riding around singing a song together. And one day I found myself singing harmony, and not even knowing it. My dad says, wait, when do you learn how to sing harmony? What's harmony? And they explained it to me, and explaining it, finding your place in the song between the voices of the other songs to make it fatter. And he had been worked in a carnival, and he took on all comers at the end of the night. And he walked a tightrope during the carnival. And he had a beautiful voice. He was out, all my family in Texas would get together, and it wasn't a person in the family that didn't have a perfect voice. So it was great. We all sing together, and it was tremendous. It just kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger. So I was definitely
Singing Elvis.
I just want to, because I loved Elvis. I think in his early days, and but I liked a lot of the blues groups from down in that area. Jimmy Lee and Chuck Berry, Chuck Berry was a big influence on me, and Billy Hill and the Comets, some of those groups. But we used to go to a lot of country western clubs and stuff. We put on Spade Cooley and his band on the Santa Monica Pier. And they have just Joe Nevis and Rosenay and Johnny Cash, all these great artists there that we get to see. And go up to town hall party and town hall ranch party, and stand 2 feet on the stage, which is only about 6 inches high, and see the Carter kids. Yeah, even if I don't finish a song, I've probably got about 20,000 unfinished songs sitting around that. I can file stacks of paper.
Little pieces of paper.
His wife said, little pieces of paper.
I'll write a line or two of the song and
Just pick them up and stick them in a slot.
stick them in the slot. Sometimes put them together and sometimes tear them apart.
What do you listen to now?
many are listening to that?
update what's around now.
Is there any current
Not
artists?
a lot. At my age, I may like it, but I forget the names. It's hard. Who do I like?
You really like Ed Sheeran.
Yeah, I like it. I get you, that's true. And what's her name?
Billie Eilish.
Billie Eilish. I think she does tremendous stuff. They did all their original things on Mac, using Logic. And I use it too. It's great. Wonderful. I have minimalist. I tried to put some stuff in. Oh, they get some nice stuff, yeah. There's a lot of good ones out there. It's just,
Okay, I just got Girl last weekend.
oh, there's a lot of good out there. It's covered up with a lot of fluff. I'm really bored with some of the stuff, honestly, because you'll hear something that song has to have more than 3 notes.
Sometimes just 3 beats nowadays.
Yeah.
You mentioned that you still write. Do you do it for yourself, or do you do it to I want to submit this because I think Ed Sheeran would sound great doing this? Do you ever think in those terms?
Well, no, because I don't have the contacts that I have back then, so I can't take it. Because I always work directly with the musicians. And since I'm sitting in living in an area that's all retired people, that most of them are, by the way, are Monkees fans.
Thank goodness. Yes, sir.
Do you ever get residual checks still?
Yeah, you get a $12 check. $25.
After this weekend, you might get another quarter.
Yeah, maybe a nickel more.
All of your fantastic photos, at the time, back in the day when you're taking them, it was just like, oh, snap this few shots, I'll, look at them and.
Yeah, when you get to your photographs.
Well, I was very serious about my photography. My brother, John, taught me about lighting, and he, like I said, I don't know if I said it here, but he was an animator for Disney, and extremely talented artist himself. So he taught me an awful lot. So I had a good start.
Why don't you put all that together?
Why don't you put it all together so it's available collection? Really?
I've always been better at taking things apart than having putting it together. No, I'm actually pretty good at putting things together, but it's a matter of time. It takes a lot of time to write a book. It's not the kind of thing you just sit down and do every day.
But aren't you?
It's hard for me to focus that way.
But if you compile like pictures and maybe your lyrics and your songs and stuff like that, a little bit.
Couple with it. Put together a book art. We'll all help. But don't you have your photos available online?
No, that's no longer exists.
Okay, so strike the question from the jury.
But Jody can get any photographs too, which she's taking over the design, and she made my life a lot simpler. It made my life a lot simpler too, or maybe it's making hers more complex. You must ask her.
I'll second that though, because we know Henry Bills as the Monkees photographer, but then we see your shots and stuff. These are amazing also. Great photos.
I really cared about it. When I first started with a Browning Hawkeye, shooting stuff at those country western films. I've got some great old shots of nobody's ever seen. And then I went on I took my camera through with the Weavers when I was with them. I've got some old shots of them, and I've got some old shots of Alan Arkin when he first started acting. He was on Broadway. He was one of my neighbors for the mornings. He passed away.
this was there with the, when they got back together in '86?
No, I wasn't involved in it, but I was certainly supporting it.
Oh, so she's asking about Nikki's new book. I told her I had a good time. He's putting out.
I haven't seen it yet.
It's not out yet. He's working on it.
But sometimes, things get little parts of it, like the book that, Paris did on, Peter.
Oh, Sergio.
Yeah, Sergio, yeah. He sent me sections of it to read, to check out and stuff.
It's a Peter Tork book by Sergio Parazao, Brazilian
There's a
author.
few things in there that are correct, but
You showed me that perfect book that has everything correct.
Well, if I see them,
Aside from my 3 books, which are at sale on the show.
I'll read it. Sorry.
Just kidding. Timeline, is this the one you spent the most time on, or 24?
Yeah, after doing that, I said I don't think I ever want to do a book again.
It's an awesome book. It really
Well,
is.
thank you very much, but I got to give a lot of credit to
Was that Ed Riley yourself that Maggie
Yeah.
McManus on that one?
and there's another person that didn't get any credit for that, but we should have, and that's John Sheridan.
If you've been to any of the monkey conventions through the years, John Sheridan would perform at all of them, and then also another wealth of knowledge.
Yeah.
Great guy.
In fact, I met John Sheridan at the first one of their conventions. Well, yeah. And we're still close.
If I have time for 1 or 2 more questions. Yes.
How did you want to be the director of the sports? Do you have prior experience?
Yeah, well,
How'd you wind up being the lighting director on the tour?
Okay, when we were at Medford with the survivors, I started playing around with stage lighting, and I liked some a fellow named Dickie Davis, who was affiliated with later with Crosby, Stills and Nash, or Buffalo Springfield, and then Crosby, Stills and Nash. He was a really, really good lighting man. And another fellow who was a lighting man at the Troubadour. Once in a while, they'd let me take over the controls and teach me a few things. This is how our equipment works. This is how our equipment works. So I learned something about the equipment, and then I started playing with it and really got into it. And I thought, wait a second, I can do this. I can do better than they are. Because I knew what I wanted. So I started just doing it. And I said, okay, why don't you let me have a shot at this, and let me have a shot at that. And I just kept growing and growing and getting better and better. And Mike one day said, look, we're doing Hollywood Bowl. I'd like to do the stage lighting. I'd love to do it, And he took it to Bob Regency. Bob Regency was a jerk. And I had never had any experience in something like that. So I walked in, just called, and suddenly I was scared to death. I didn't know what I was going to do. And so I got the lighting guys together, and I said, okay, I don't know what I'm doing. Tell me how to tell you. I said, here's what I want to do. Tell me how to talk to you in your language. So they gave me their language, and suddenly it was there. All I had to do was know what they needed to know. And it was some of the greatest, most exciting things in my life was to do that. And doing lighting with Donovan, that was a real deal. Because he's so theatrical, and his songs are so theatrical. And Sunshine Superman, the Sunflies on the stage, and be much more dramatic to the big stages.
My Donovan memory of Atlantis was on Andy Williams' show. He came out, he was angelic. He wore this flowing, I don't know if anyone has ever seen the show. If not, find it on YouTube. And we digress. You had a question.
I was just wondering if you were that involved on the set, like on the set.
I was on the set a lot,
Yeah.
all over the place.
Are you on the show at all?
Yeah, but you can't see me. There's one scene where there's a big table you're sitting around, it's pretty near the end of the show, following around, and it's kind of like a Middle Eastern thing, and there's a big hookah sitting in the middle of it. Mickey is smoking the hookah. Rick Coyne and I are under the table. And they're passing us the hookah. That was the only part of the film I was in. I was shooting a lot of photography for them. I don't have those pictures. That's right. Because there wasn't any, we weren't dressed in the costumes. Out of context, but we were invited to partake of the hookah. It got a little chaos.
You guys have asked great questions. Give yourselves a nice round of applause. Again, Alex, thank you so much. Thank you. Chadwick, come on! We'll be at this table with the side hookers and take pictures. And if there's anything you were shy to ask, of course, you can always ask in person. But guys, thank you for coming out to the convention. Thank you for listening to Monkey Baby Radio.